Excuse that technical difficulty.
You don't have the
Bans
heart
were
for
Cho'Gath and
this.
Renekton. Cho'Gath being that tanky lizard monster from the last game, able to use that 2 damage ultimate nuke. And Renekton, top lane bully, very strong in the 1v1. Blue side bans out Orianna and Lucian. Orianna, very strong control mage in the middle, able to control a huge zone with her ball. And Lucian, a very good counter mage in the middle, as well as a good marksman in the bot lane, able to dash around and use a lot of auto tech resets, as well as the Lightbringer passive to get a lot of auto attacks off in one fight. Riven picked up from the red side. Riven, a very strong AD dueler, able to use a lot of her mobility dash moves to get in and out of a fight and do the damage that she wants to do and dodge out the damage she doesn't want to take. In the mid lane, Syndra picked. Syndra, a very good burst mage, able to wave clear with her dark spheres and then able to pop that ultimate to burst out any champion she wants to as long as they don't have a way to get out of that. And the last pick is Jax up in the top lane. Jax is the Grand Duelist, is actually his title, and Jax, known for his 1v1 potential, able to kind of play safe in lane with his jump and stun, transitioning into one of the strongest late game champions, able to get attack speed from his passive and armor and magic resistance from attack damage and ability power from his ultimate. So a very good off-tank bruiser up in the top lane, and the pick ban is going to be rounded out by Galio in the mid lane. So Galio picked as that anti-mage champion, trying to weather the storm that is Syndra, attempting to survive. If we look at the team compositions here, on the blue side, we have a very good late game team comp. Shyvana, Syndra, Twitch, Jax, all late game champions that scale insanely well with both damage and survivability. So if this game goes into the lengths that it did last time, expect a very hard time to come up from the red side. Alternatively, red side with very good pick potential. Rakan showing off that engage potential in the last game. That coupled with Rammus's ability to taunt and lock down a champion, Riven with her stun, and then Galio with that global ult giving damage reduction and then a knock up on top of all the CC he provides will make picks very hard to get out of. So we'll see who wins this game. Whether Team World Class can pull out a victory like we've seen them do in the past, or the newcomers, Team Boosted Animals, can. After the game, for whoever wins and whoever loses, will you just like leave and then do your cheering or whatever out here? That way they don't hear it on the mic. Swag, you guys know. I mostly told them. Mm. 3 minutes. It makes sense though. Prime the towers and wake up the jungle creeps. We are into our second game here at the ROG Arena at the Microsoft Store at Easton Town Center. Gonna jump right into this game. Pings out from the blue team for a typical point defense, so no shenanigans coming out from them. See if the red team is looking to do something along those lines. Supports Rakan opting for that Ancient Coin start again, looking to get that gold and mana regen. And Nami instead opting for the Spell Thief's Edge. Nothing too interesting coming out level 1. Both bots in their respective bushes, so could run into each other. See Xayah and Rakan up there doing their dances together. Another thing I forgot to mention was that Xayah and Rakan can actually back together, so one can channel the back and the other can continue to push the wave out, and then the other one can walk up and just complete the back with them. Jack's going for the Doran's shield as opposed to Riven's Doran's blade start, so Riven looking to be aggressive and Jack's looking to just get to that late game. Twitch is going to step forward, but the red side is going to ping them out. Nothing comes from that. Twitch with cleanse, so that QSS ability that came out that the Tristana bot at the end of the last game actually in a summon spell for Twitch, so looking to get out of the CC from the Galio taunt or the Rammus taunt or the Riven stun or the Rakan charm, so lots of a CC that is cleansable but can only cleanse one, maybe two abilities if they hit on the same frame, so see if that keeps him alive. Syndra putting down those Dark Spheres immediately. Auto Q onto Galio, just trying to put as much pressure down before he gets tanky. And they're going to get Cheese level 1 in the bot lane. Ignite drops onto the Twitch. Twitch flashes, misses over the wall. Heal is dropped, and the Xayah flashes forward. And Xayah with the first kill. Great Cheese kill coming out from this bot lane. Twitch blowing his flash, and Nami using heal puts him at quite a disadvantage in this lane. Nami with heal is an interesting tactic. Nami does take Wind Speakers as a keystone, amplifying heals and shields by 10%, so her taking heal instead of the Twitch gives him the freedom to run cleanse, and that heal is actually stronger than normal. Jack's putting Counter-Strike down, tags the Riven, but doesn't get any damage after that. This Xayah with an early kill is going to be something that's going to be very hard to deal with. Shyvana finishing up her blue buff, so doing a 3-camp start, is level 3 now. Rammus going buff to buff. Syndra being very aggressive on the Galio, gets the Thunderlord's proc off. Syndra with Ghost, so we'll be able to run down champions like Xayah or Riven if she's strong enough to survive the damage I can put out, making her a lot more mobile than something like a heal or Ignite would provide, but does sacrifice some damage or survivability because of that. Riven using her Q and her stun. Jax looking to perhaps turn and get some free damage while those abilities are on cooldown. Rammus wrapping around mid lane. Potential gank here. Rammus looking to steal the Raptor camp. Instead turns his sights on the bot lane. Red pushing the wave out a little bit. Rammus takes the blasting cone. Ping's coming down for the gank. Rammus sitting on the wings here. Jax Q's forward. Riven's just gonna use the rest of her Wind Slash to get out of that. Rakan hits the W onto the Nami, and Nami forced to flash out. That damage coming out from that combo being very high, especially with this lead. Galio hits the E on Syndra, pops this taunt afterwards, and trades some damage, but Syndra, with Galio walking, is able to return the favor, making that trade pretty equal. And this Nami Twitch is having a hard time in the early game. Xayah and Rakan being a very, very powerful duo, able to trade very efficiently. So both flashes down. Rammus looking for a dive, is just going to back. Shyvana looking for her Krugs, is going to see that they're gone, might catch Rammus in the side bush. Instead opts to go up towards her Raptor camp. Shyvana finishing a red smite, so is going to have the damage reduction that provides, as well as the true damage burn that is applied when she damages a champion that she smites. Rammus opting for boots and a hunter's machete, instead looking for that early movement speed, and then just trying to build towards his jungle item. Could go red smite, that is a popular build, but blue smite just as good for the slow as opposed to the damage reduction. Jax off in the top lane. Riven up just around 20 CS. Riven picking up her Ogre Worm also has the AD on top of the cooldown reduction it provides. Jax only being able to pick up boots and a cloth armor, so going for a Ninja Tabby early, looking to reduce the attack damage that Riven can do with those auto attacks, but not many combat stats provided. So Riven definitely the upper hand as of now with that CS lead. Syndra gets a back off, does bit of blocks chapter, but Riven finding Shyvana in the jungle, looking to trade some autos. Shyvana's just going to pop a potion and run out. But no, that last chapter in the mid lane going to allow Syndra to stay in lane much longer, getting that mana on level up, making the early game a lot easier to handle. Galio with his superior wave clear to Syndra because of him being able to cast those Winds of War and clear the back wave instantly, as opposed to Syndra having to use multiple spells, will allow Syndra to stay in lane a little bit longer. Jax hit 6 before the Riven, so is a very scary champion right now. BF sword picked up by Xayah because of that first blood, so very strong item spike. That raw AD going to allow her to trade even better than they are now, and with Nami's flash still not up, Botling's going to have to be very careful they don't die to this damage. Kron being such a potential threat. Catalyst picked up by Galio, so able to get mana back when he takes damage and health back when he casts an ability and uses mana. Will allow him a lot of the same things that the last chapter allows Syndra, as well as giving him tank stats and allowing him to be closer to that Rod of Ages and start that scaling as early as possible. Tracker's Knife actually completed by Rammus, so opting out of the advantages that a blue or red smite would provide him, and instead going for the added vision that Tracker Knife gives him with those free wards on a back. We're going to play more of a team-oriented Rammus build. No ganks out of either of these junglers. Little skirmishes here and there. Riven Q's forward. Jax Q's onto her. Uses the Grandmaster Might. Riven pops her ult. Jack's gonna have to dodge the Wind Slasher. She's gonna die. Flash art onto the Riven into the stun is gonna secure her kill onto Jax. Jax opting in for that fight and dying anyway. Interesting decision on his part. Gonna make this lane harder still. Twitch does pick up his BF sword, so is equal in that regards, but Xayah actually picking up a long sword on top of that, gonna give her just that little edge that first blood and CS lead provides her. Look at the ward coverage. Blue side has this river warded to the nines. Galio gonna find Shyvana at the Raptor camp, steals all of the Raptors, so takes a ton of gold from her. He's gonna walk out, a little swagger in his step, money in his pocket. But yeah, the blue side, their wards covering this river jungle, stopping a lot of the plays that red might be looking to make. Shyvana looking to steal the blue in response to the Wraith steal. Botlane stepping forward, alt W pop by Rakan, ignite onto the Twitch, and Xayah kills it before he has a chance to do anything. Cleanses pop, but it wasn't enough, and Xayah picks up her second kill, and that just shows the potential from this bot lane. Coupled with the ignite that Rakan ran, a ton of damage able to come out in a very small amount of time. Shyvana ults onto the Galio. Galio pops a W for the damage reduction. Syndra ults onto the Galio, and Galio walks out with a sliver of health, and that damage reduction definitely saving him from the burst coming out from Syndra. So 3 kills to none for the red side. Up about 2,500 gold here, 9 minutes into the game. Forbidden Idol completed by Rakan, so that mana regen and increased shield power. Getting him ever closer to that item Ardent Sensor, which is so powerful right now. Rammus power balls to the Shyvana. Shyvana flashes. Rammus falls up with the flash, gets a taunt, pops that Tremor. Riven with the E stun. Shyvana with the 2-person E. Galio ult comes down and secures that Shyvana kill. Syndra forced to pop her ghost as Rakan shows his face in the mid lane. And that is a clean 4th kill from the red side. Rakan more than comfortable leaving Xayah in the bot lane with the lead that they picked up. Xayah finishing her Ogre's Worm also. Going to build that Essence Reaver. Excuse me, Caulfield's Warhammer. Been calling it the wrong thing. But we'll be able to build that Essence Reaver soon here. Rammus stealing away Shyvana's blue. Recurve bow finished by Syndra. So Syndra going towards that Blood Razor. Riven engaging on Jax, but Jax not taking too much damage here. Negatron Cloak finished by Galio, so Galio opting to go for that Abyssal Mask first item. Abyssal Mask reducing the damage you take from magic damage, as well as amplifying the magic damage you do by 10%. Galio could also have to go Adaptive Helm early. Adaptive Helm reducing the damage you take from subset by the same ability over and over again. Syndra using that Dark Sphere so frequently off cooldown will allow him to survive just a little bit more. Shyvana being spotted out by a pink ward. Galio over the wall. Drops the Q. Looking to poke out a little bit. Shyvana forces pop a potion, but is still looking towards his bot lane. Drops a ward over the Dragon Wall. Riven finishing her Phage, Caulfield's Warhammer, and Kindle Gem. Sorry about that. Riven finishing her Phage, Caulfield's Warhammer, and Kindle Gem, giving her 20% CDR, and very close to finishing Black Cleaver and Yomu's Ghostblade. Blood Razor finished by Shyvana, so that first one item power spike in the jungle, allowing her to clear fairly safely. Galio taking a little bit of damage from clearing the wave out. Rammus is around the wings, has that power ball spinning, looking to find the Syndra. Syndra doesn't have flash or a ghost. Is going to land, going to hit the taunt. Pops the ultimate. The CC lock. Syndra's not going anywhere. The ult does drop on the onto the Rammus, excuse me, and that is a 1-for-1 trade on Syndra's part. Syndra squeaking out a kill there makes that decently worth it for her. She is able to pick up Morellonomicon, so on top of the 20% cooldown reduction, able to cut the healing. Champions do, we have to find the bot lane. R flash W from the Rakan. Twitch dying to the ignite from Rakan. Flash burned from both Twitch, from all four of the bot lane, and Nami barely getting out. And that is another kill for the Xayah Rakan combo. Riven E for it, get the stun and decides to opt out of that, but that just shows how dangerous this Rakan can be. With flash up specifically, he's such a threat. And Red has their sights set on this first blood tower. Shyvana ult hits two people. Nami ult's gonna follow, but Shyvana's gonna get shredded by the Xayah. Does live because of the Nami heal, but an interesting option. This bot lane being so strong, I'm not sure if the Shyvana is strong enough to do anything with Nami there, let alone by herself. Nami not being able to provide too much damage. Cinder Hall completed by Rammus, so gonna start stacking that health as well as get that AoE burn. First dragon is Ocean, so we'll see if that's contested. Allows for a sustain when not in combat, so those rotations, keeping them healthy. Twitch down twice the amount of CS that Xayah has. Barely in this game at all at this point with 3 deaths. Rammus finds Shyvana. Shyvana pops the red smite in. Looking to fight the Rammus. Rammus taking a ton of damage. Galio ulted the Rammus with the damage reduction. Gets the shield because of Courage of the Colossus. Doesn't have dying to the from red spike. Galio looking to get the return call on Shyvana, but taking a ton of auto attacks. Force the flash over the wall and the stun doesn't land. So that is a 1-for-0 trade on the blue team. And those are the kills they're going to look for if they want to stay in this match. Xayah finishing her Essence Reaver, so already at her first item here 15 minutes into the game. With that item giving her crit strike as well as cooldown reduction based on the cooldown reduction based on the critical strike that she already has up to 30%, and giving her mana back on critical strike, so a ton of advantages coming out from that. Pings dropping on the Shyvana. Rakan W's forward to knock her up. Shyvana's going to ult away and try to survive here. Rakan gets a ton on all 3 people on Twitch. Looking to get autos down and trying to do as much damage as he can. Riven ult popped on the top lane looking for the Syndra. Riven flash comes out. Syndra with no mana. Rammus powerballing in. Looking to find the Syndra. That Riven musters up enough mana to get the E, but with a very clean play from the Riven, ult dashing forward, she does still pick up the kill. That puts this red team 3,500 gold up on blue. Riven now 3-0. Xayah 2-0. Xayah forcing out the cleanse from the Twitch, but still getting the kill 2v1. And this Xayah is becoming scarier by the minute. Red picking up the first blood tower in the middle is going to push their gold lead even farther ahead. Now sitting comfortably at 5.5 gold lead. Just going to go up by another 2,000 when Xayah finishes this turret.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Now 6.5 gold lead up on this blue side. Blue has quite a mountain to climb if they want to stay in this game. Team World Class does have a late game team comp, so they're not out of it yet. If they can weather the storm that the red team has been putting on right now, it is possible for them to stay in this game. But with Riven with 3 kills, she's more than capable of dealing with Jax. Xayah able to 2v1 in the bot lane. And this Galio surviving the damage that Syndra can put down. It is a very hard, very daunting task for the blue team if they want to try and stay in this. Abyssal Mass finished from Galio. Zeal Berserker's Greaves picked up by Xayah, so a ton of attack speed there as well as some crit strike. Double Cloth Armor from Rammus is going to build into that Bramble Vest, which will eventually turn into a Thorn Mails. Doubling up on that damage reflection that comes out from his defensive curl, forcing a ton of damage to come out from the person he taunts if he can get onto someone. Shyvana and Jax looking to cheese a kill on this Rakan and Xayah, but Xayah having 3 kills is, and the Ardent Censer finished from Rakan. Jax pops a counter strike, stuns the Xayah. Xayah runs away, does get hit by the Shyvana ult. Double Charm comes out from the Rakan. Galio ult knocks out 2 people and gives Xayah the damage reduction. And this Shyvana goes down, and Rakan chasing down the Shyvana. Nami picking up the kill on Xayah on the tail end. Syndra getting a 2-man stun. Ults the Rakan and gets a kill. Nami trying to run away. Galio hits the E. Winds of War goes down, and the W drops to taunt the Nami up. Nami does fall down. Syndra looking for some return kills. And all in all, that's a 2 for 2, which is better than the blue team could hope for, but those 2 kills coupled back just puts them right back at square one. Well played to keep themselves from losing that team fight, but gonna need to look to trade positively if they're hoping to stay in this game. Trinity Force almost completed by Jax. Once that item is completed, it will make Jax's life a lot easier up in this top lane. Trinity Force providing a ton of stats. Serena Dirk finished by Riven on top of her Black Cleaver, so perhaps looking to build Ghost Blade or perhaps Dust Blade. Either item being a very big lethality item, allowing her to do a ton of damage to champions without that much armor. Xayah on the top, matching this Jax here. Rakan warding is around the top side, so not too far from his girlfriend up there in the top lane. Spotted out by a pink ward. And pings are dropping on the Rift Herald with a 1.5 minutes left to see if they can get it before it disappears back into the void. It's replaced by his big brother. Rammus opting to not go Bramble Vest, instead picking up Glacial Shroud and the Crystalline Bracer, going for that Righteous Glory item instead to give her increased movement speed so that he can get closer to his target. Rakan all W's the Jax. Jax getting the Q off before he gets knocked up, but is still going to die to the Xayah damage. Counter-Strike actually blocking a ton of the damage from Xayah's auto, or dodging the damage, excuse me, but Galio snagging Jax with those Winds of War, does pick up the kill, and Jax ends up going down. Youmuu's Ghostblade finished by Riven, so Riven now sitting on 2 items is a very, very strong champion. Riven spotted out by the ward though. Nami ult goes down. It's a 3v1. Can Riven get out of this? Looks to Q over the wall, but Q's backward instead and dies to the Syndra ult. That Syndra kill is traded for a tower in the top lane, and that is the 3rd tower the red team is going to be able to pick up. And Team Boosted Animals playing this map very, very well. Up 6,500 gold and turning their sights on this tier 2 tower. Syndra on the wing, looking to assassinate and get the stun down. Stun hits the Rakan. Jax stuns up the Rammus. Rammus pops that powerball and runs away. Xayah getting a ton of autos down, and those feathers on the ground snares the Jax, and they run away. This top tier 2 tower very, very low. an easy pickup for them when they decide to take it again. They're just going to go back to base and spend some gold. Galio pushing the mid wave out. Siren Song comes out from the Nami. Syndra finishing her haunting guy, so picking up a little bit of magic penetration. Looking to get through this magic damage stacking champion that is Galio. Ramus not building too much magic resistance, but will come out, I assume. Syndra having the 3 of the 5 kills from Team World Class. Righteous Gory completed by Ramus, so Ramus going to be able to be a very fast Armadillo when he chooses to be. Xayah sitting on Static Shiv and Essence Reaper, sitting at 30% cooldown reduction on top of 50% crit. That burst damage will be very high, especially with the CC provided by Rakan. Runan's Hurricane finished by Twitch. Twitch able to put down a lot of AoE damage with his passive coupled with that expunge if he can get the autos off, but being 0-4 and down 70 CS to the Xayah, this Twitch is almost non-existent in this game as of now. Gonna have to funnel a lot of resources into him to get him back up to speed, so to speak. Dragon spawning in 15 seconds. Jax split pushing on the bot side. Galio looking to fight the Jax. Ease forward. Jax just walks away. Gets hit by the Winds of War, and Jax decides to hightail it out of there. Second Ocean Drake spawning, and Red looking to pick it up. Shyvana on the top side, not looking to contest. That's going to be the second Ocean Dragon, so between fights, it's going to be a ton of passive regen for the red team. So even if blue does get a good fight, red's going to be able to go back, regen that damage up and the mana that they use in the fight, and then get out almost scot-free. Rift Herald popped in the mid lane, looking to take tier 2 tower with it. Headbutts that tower, does a ton of damage. Blue team's going to try to clear it as fast as possible, but minions pick up the tower up in the top that they had gotten so low previously, so that's 4 towers to 0 for the red team. Now up 8,000 gold. That gold lead ever increasing. But like we saw the last game, there's a lot of gold to be had in those towers. So if blue team can find a way to get some waves push and get to those towers, they can close this gold lead up a little bit. Riven Flash trying to stun the Twitch. Twitch popping the stealth, flashing and running away. Galio gets the ton on Galio, gets the Winds of War. Jax popping Counter-Strike to try and deter the Galio from fighting any further, but the damage had been done. Jax getting tagged by Winds of War again is slowly but getting poked out by the Galio. Shyvana trying to clear the wave. Nami misses the bubble. That's now a 4-man mid for the blue side. Jinx on the bot. Red opting to retreat into their jungle. Galio hoping for the steal, but opts to smite away the red instead. Shyvana opts to smite away the red instead, securing that. Nami goes back to base, Twitch in the top lane. Gonna farm out these minions. Very cautious though. Knows the threat of an assassination is there. Blue has their topside jungle incredibly warded, so trying to keep this Twitch as alive as possible while he farms up. Red running in that top side, perhaps turning their sights on Baron. Might go for the Twitch kill first. Shyvana up there trying to protect. Riven queuing over the wall. Is going to run right into Shyvana. Shyvana red smite. Gets the E and starts the auto attack. Riven forced the W stun away. Shyvana pops the ult to chase her down. Galio out is forced out. And that is a major cooldown that comes down. Ramus powerballs into the Shyvana. Xayah and Galio looking to return the kill. Nami ult goes down, hits the Galio. Coupled into the bubble, and the stun from the Syndra is going to stop their advances, but red has pings on Baron, and looks like they're going to just do it. Blue coming out this right side. Gonna look to stop it. Galio eating forward. Red peeling up immediately. Alt W flash from Rakan. Stuns 3 people. Follow CC from the Riven. Xayah popping that ult to make sure she's safe, and a clean triple kill from the Riven. That's a 3-for-0 play. 3-for-0 team fight. Riven now 6-1. And that Baron just a bait for a team fight that the red wanted. Now up almost 10,000 gold 25 minutes into this game. The 0-5 Twitch is just dead weight at this point in the game. Is not providing enough damage to be a threat. Shyvana trying to catch the wave from the red side to stop this turret push, but it too little too late as the red shreds this tier 2 tower. Shyvana now on the run. Red pinging, clearing wards out. Shyvana takes a Blessing Cone over to the Krugs. Is going to look to get a cheesy back off by the red buff. Might look to steal the red buff while she's there. Powerball cast by Rammus, looking for the Shyvana. Shyvana, secret agent, is spotted by the pink ward, but should be safe to get out of here now. Rakan not quite fast enough. Shyvana makes it out alive. Leandri's Torment finished by Syndra, so Syndra's starting to get to a point where she can deal damage to these tanks. Everybody else is falling very, very far behind in terms of gold. Xayah up 70 CS, Riven up 6 kills and 30 CS. Shyvana power farming like Shyvana does, but Rammus having so much more impact in these team fights. Galio up 2 CS, which is almost negligible, but no deaths makes him a very, very tanky gargoyle. With that Thornmail and a Thistle Helm is effectively canceled out any damage that the threats from the Team World class can do to him. Righteous Glory finish from Rammus. Building a Locket, so perhaps looking to build, or building an Aegis, perhaps looking to build Locket, or perhaps something else. See what comes from that. Opts out of the Thornmail route, knowing that Syndra has most of their kills. That Thornmail is mostly wasted. Riven splitting on the bot side with a four-man squad up towards the Baron. Team at finish from Riven, so another ratio there. Riven's gonna try and finish this bot tier 2 turret. Is gonna get it. Jax pops a counter strike, pops the ult, looking to fight the Riven, gets good damage off. Riven pops the ult, hits the Q, knock up into the stun, is doing a ton of damage, but Jax is turning back, and the E ult forward from the Riven is going to secure the kill. And this Jax, who is known for his dueling, is not able to duel this Riven, and that is a problem. Riven having 7 kills. Not sure why the Jax even attempted the 1v1. But Jax not being able to do what Jax does best is creating a ton of dead weight. Righteous Glory pops from the Rammus into a flash taunt. Covers a ton of distance, but the Twitch glance is popped. Rakan alt W's onto Syndra. Syndra on the backside. Xayah goes down to the Shyvana, but Syndra dying to the Riven, and Riven has joined the fray. Rammus tanking as many damage as he can, as much damage from as he can from Twitch, but ends up dying. Riven picking up the Twitch kill on the back end. And that is a 3 for 2 for the red team. So do come ahead. Blue team playing the fight decently well, able to pick up a kill on the Xayah and Rammus, but 3 for 2 trades is still giving a gold lead over to red, and red now sitting 11,000 gold ahead 30 minutes into this game, looking for their 3rd Ocean Dragon. Once they secure this, it'll be very, very hard to poke red out of these Baron plays. As long as they stay out of combat, we'll be able to regen insanely well. Gonna back here. Baron is on the table. All the tier 1s down from the blue side. Red having all their turrets still. Locket of the Iron Slurry finished by Rammus. Bambi Simmer picked up by Galio. Lord Dominic's Regards finished by Riven to get more of that armor penetration. 3 item out of Xayah. Infinity Edge, Essence Reaver, Static Shiv is providing a ton of critical strike damage as well as cooldown reduction. It's going to allow her to do a ton of DPS. Red gearing up for this Baron. Riven still splitting on the bot side. Is making her way up top. Red dropping those control wards, clearing vision. Rammus takes a little bit of damage from Syndra. Syndra all goes down, but Rammus dropped to just about 3/5 health, or 2/5 health. Doesn't take a ton of damage from that. Yeah, that team has won. That team has won 3 times. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, that's you guys. Death push coming out from the red team. Jax is gonna walk face first into it. Rakan misses the W ult, but doesn't matter. The stun comes out from the Riven anyway, and that kill is picked up swiftly, and that should be a free Baron now that it's a 4v5. Blue team having very little ability to contest this. Shyvana on the backside gonna look to steal it, but I think it'll die before she can get there. Smite secured by the Ram, and Shyvana dies in the pit. Xyol is popped, so isn't gonna be able to go untargetable. Wretched score popped. Syndra taunted up, and that could be the end of this game. With Baron and 5v2 on the top lane, Red is going to push this minion wave in for the potential win, and this Twitch hits 1-6 is going to have to put up a monumental stop if Team Royal Class wants to stay in this. Jax is up. 15 seconds on the other two. Riven pops her ult. Galio gets a ton on the Jax. Jax counter-strike stuns 2 people. Twitch is trying to auto-damage on the back, but the Ram is face-taking it. Galio ult pop for the damage reduction, and unless this Syndra and Shyvana can make a monumental stop, there's nothing they can do. Twitch goes down to the teamfight. Rakan gets the knock-up. Teamfight just outside the base, and that is a GG. Congratulations to Red Side for your victory. We'll be back for a 3rd place match here in just a second. and welcome to this third place match here at the ROG Arena at Microsoft Store at Easton Town Center.
People fear what they cannot understand.
We have Team World Class versus 4 Asians and a white guy. First ban comes out. For the blue side is Syndra, so taking away that burst potential, that control mage in the mid lane. Ezreal banned out by Team World Class, seeing the strength from the Ezreal jungle in the last game, taking that away, halting that early game gank potential and damage that Ezreal puts out. Second ban from the blue team is Maokai, so common, it's 100% pick ban this tournament, taking away that tank potential, the engage that he brings to the table. Not wanting to deal with that up there in the island that is top lane. Tristana banned second for the red, so both champions picked by blue side, so perhaps trying to take them off of some comfort picks. But again, that late game AD damage, able to jump around with her rocket jump reset. Last ban from the blue side is in Italy, so trying to get rid of the counter jungle potential Nidalee has after that first clear. A very mobile champion, able to put down damage and in and out of fights. And Malzahar is the last ban. Malzahar is the last ban from the red side, so taking away 3 champions that the blue side play that the blue team played their last game. Malzahar being very strong in that game, almost exclusively stopping that Fizz from doing anything. So we'll see if that works in their favor. Janna is open, so going to be first picked. Janna, one of, if not the best support in the game right now, able to very much abuse that Ardent Sensor item as well as disengage and disrupt whoever wants to step to her AD carry with the Tornado and ult. Sona being hovered by the red side, but Twitch is picked, so not shaken by that last game. Going to pick it up anyway and hope for the best. Twitch, very strong champion, just got a little behind in the last game and not able to show his true damage potential. Second pick is going to come out here. And it is Nami, so we will see the same bot lane as last game. Confident in their ability to play that, just a bad matchup perhaps, or just outplayed in the last game. So going to play the same thing. See what bans come out on the Blues team. And the pick is going to be Lee Sin. So Lee Sin, a champion don't see very often, is always semi-relevant. Very mobile champion, a very good duelist, as well as a little pick potential with that Dragon's Kick ultimate, able to insect champions by using his Ward Hop or Flash to kick people back into his team, or kick to peel. So we'll see how that if that helps him in one way or another. Vayne is the AD picked up. So talking about late game AD carries, Vayne is the notorious for that title. Vayne doing percent max health true damage on every third consecutive auto attack on one champion. So if able to be left alone, can shred through tanks and squishies alike, as well as a little bit of self-peel with her tumble and condemn. Darius is the pickup for the top lane, so looking for that 1v1 skirmish potential and that off-tank-ish role that he fills in the late game. And we're going to get into this second round of bans here. Riven is taken away. Riven does fairly well against Darius. Able to kind of avoid some of the damage as well as CCing Darius enough to stop the auto attacks. See what ban comes out next. Blue team could flex Lee Sin to the top lane. Not very common, but possible to go up there. Galio is banned, so not wanting to deal with that anti-mage in the mid lane. Take away that tank threat. Blue team has not picked either solo laner, and the red team not choosing their mid or jungler yet. Nard is the second ban from the red side, so don't want that ancient Yordle up in the top lane. Scared of that ability to kite in and out of team fights and then go mega and hit him with the ultimate. Shyvana is the last ban. So taking away that champion from, I believe, Fisher Friends is a Shyvana player. So a comfort pick for him. Very good clear times as well as damage. So we'll see if that is a worthy ban. And Zac is a pickup for the jungler. Zac, a magic damage tank, so scaling well with this Darius and Twitch, which are both AD champions. His long range engage potential with elastic shot, or elastic slingshot, able to go from odd places to go in for the knock up that combos into his. Okay. And we have a technical issue, so we are going to remake this lobby. We'll be back into it 1 second, and we'll get right back to where we were. So just give us 1 second of that. Sorry for that interruption. We're going to try and fly through this pick and bans to get back right where we started. Little technical issues, but have been resolved.
It is done. People fear what they cannot understand.
Let me get in there.
I smell fear.
No problem.
Technical issue resurfaced, so we are going to figure that out. We're going to try and get back into this game as soon as possible. I'll just make sure it's even for both sides.
I smell fear.
No problem.
People fear what they cannot understand.
Let me get in there.
Sorry about that. Little malfunction, but we are hopefully back into the action there. Gonna pick the same things as we did before. Yep, so Janna, Nami, Twitch. Lee Sin. Picked up again. And then Vayne. Darius. We're gonna should fly through these second round bans. We have Riven,
Learn from your mistakes.
Gnar, Galio, and I believe one more ban. And then Zach was the pick, and we are back to where we were before. So we'll see what blue side picks here. A good bot lane coupled with a good mid-game jungler. Malphite is the pick, so could be top lane. More than likely will be in that lane. Could go jungle, but very highly unlikely. We'll see what their pick for the mid laner is going to be. And it is Orianna. So going for that control mage in the middle, going to be able to control that space with the ball and using dissonance and shockwave to maneuver it around. A very strong team fight out of the blue squad. Malphite can hit his unstoppable charge ultimate and knock up multiple champions. Orianna can follow up with her shockwave for a ton of AoE CC and as well as damage and allow Vayne free reign to auto whoever she wants. So that will be the goal for the blue side. Going to try to get to the late game and allow that Vayne to become online, and as well as Orianna for damage threats, and Malphite and Janna to be able to be tanky from Malphite and the full peel from Janna. On the red side, we have very strong mid game. Fizz, once he gets 1-2 items, a very, very strong champion. As well as, same thing goes for this Darius. Twitch scales almost as well as the Vayne, able to do a lot more AoE teamfight damage, but less than a 1v1. And Zac just getting insanely tanky, providing a ton of AoE CC. So we will see which team comes out in this third place match. Past all of the interruptions and difficult technical delays, we are going to get into this game. We have our 3-minute delay, and we will be back to see who is our third place winner in the ROG Arena, the Microsoft Store at Easton Town Center. The shopkeeper has restocked his inventory and the minions are ready to run it down the lanes. We are getting into this third place match here. Team World Class versus 4 Asians and a white guy. Nothing too cheeky coming out level 1 item wise. Moving the champions to their respective places. Both teams just watching, seeing if anything cheeky is going to come out level 1. The other team looking to make a ton of early game moves. No early wards or anything like that, just opting to do their own thing. Janna going Ancient Coin, Nami going Spell Thief's Edge. So Nami going for the more passive gold mana oriented start. And Nami going for the more poke oriented start. Corrupting Potion coming out from Fizz and the Darius, so both having a lot of regen to try and weather the lane. Malphite does have a decent amount of poke from his Q, and Orianna definitely able to poke out Fizz early, Fizz being a melee champion in the mid lane. Fizz took teleport, so opting away from that Ignite, the damage that Ignite provides, and instead going for the map play and kind of lane catch-up potential that teleport gives him. Can go back to base and TP and not miss too much minions while Orianna pushes him in. Fizz gets an early E onto the Orianna, popping his Thunderlords, and Orianna not getting hers off. That's a ton of damage early on. Fizz is forced to pop his Corruption Potions, but does have 2 more of those, so is not in too much danger from that. Orianna going Barrier, so deceptively tanky with that Summoner spell. Darius trading autos with Malphite. Gets 5 stacks of his passive, but doesn't choose to use that from anything other than letting the damage tick on the Malphite. Orianna popping that Thunderlords with the command move Dissonance combo. Fizz forced to use his second Corruption Potion stack. Quickly running out of that regen. Janna Shield protecting Vayne from most of the damage in that early trade. A little does stick, but not too much. Darius trading with the Malphite, gets the slow. Malphite very low and out of mana, is forced to run away and pop his potion. Lee Sin a little ahead in his jungle clear. He is already on his blue buff. He's looking top lane. Gonna try and kill this Darius before Zac gets there, but decides the lane isn't favorable for him, and instead looking like he's killing Scuttlecrab. Malphite out of mana. Darius keeping himself topped off there with those Corruption Potions. So big lane advantage for Darius at the moment. Vayne and Zac pinging each other out. Neither of the Sono laners moving for that though. Darius does have the wave push, so Malphite tries to run. He has to run through a very scary Darius. Fizz engaging on Orianna. Orianna blocking a lot of the damage because of her E-shield. Getting a favorable trade onto Fizz. Fizz out of potions, and Orianna having both of her still, so in a very good spot in this mid lane. Malphite still taking a ton of damage. Darius missing his apprehend, so not able to get perhaps a kill on the Malphite, or at least a blown flash. Lee Sin waiting over the wings, seeing if Darius is going to go for the dive, going to go for the counterplay, but Darius playing safe, backing off. Zac waiting in the lane bush, so looking for a counter gank if Darius decides to get aggressive. So both junglers kind of sniffing each other out. Zac gets the elastic slingshot off, forces the Malphite flash. Lee Sin retreated back in his jungle, so Malphite had lost a lot of the help that he needed to survive that, and flash blown is advantage for Darius. Darius up 8 CS in the lane as of now. Orianna up 10 CS in the mid lane. It's a product of her blowing all of the regen out of Fizz early. Gonna allow her to be very healthy in the mid lane, still with 1 potion and full health. Lost Chapter picked up by Orianna, so very popular item on a lot of these control mages is Merlinomicon, which Lost Chapter does build into. It's a good efficient item early, allows them to stay in lane and not run into the mana problems that spamming your spells, generally speaking, lends you. Apprehend onto the Malphite. Darius gets 5 stacks of his passive and Puts a ton of damage onto Malphite. The lost chapter building in Emerald Navicon is almost just convenience, it being such an efficient item in the early game, allowing them to stay in lane and push out and not worry about running out of mana. Malphite already low, forced to pop one of his potions. Out of mana. Forced to use his mana to even get farm. Darius is in a very good spot. He's gonna back with a 17 CS lead. Both junglers picking up their first items. Zach opting to get Bambi Simber to get some of that AoE damage as well as some health to start stacking into those tank items. Lee Sin opting to go Tracking Knife, providing that ward coverage. But Fizz and Orianna fighting here in the mid lane. Fizz gets his full combo, hits his Playful Trickster and his W. Zach charging the Elastic Slingshot, looking to hit the Orianna. Orianna forced to use Barrier, holding onto the Flash, but almost gets the kill. Flashes away from the Fizz. Fizz forced to use his Flash as well, and Orianna playing that gank very, very well, surviving what could have been a very bad situation. Choosing to stand around, did hit her 6. Darius getting the apprehend on Malphite. Malphite without any flash is going to die. Darius gets the dunk, doesn't get the kill, but the final auto finalizes that. Orianna whiffs the ult on Fizz. Fizz dodging it with that Playful Trickster. Lee Sin there to help, but he's very low. He's turning his sights onto Lee Sin. Lee Sin autos the Zac instead of Fizz, and the Fizz ends up living and picking up the double kill. Fizz having Dark Seal makes that even worse now with 4 stacks, getting a ton of free AP from that. It's a scary spot to be in with this lane going so well for Orianna. Fizz, almost in a blink of an eye, is now up 2 kills and even in CS. It's going to be a very, very scary fish thing. Bambi Simber finished by Malphite, so looking to contest this Darius' damage a little bit with that AoE burn. Sheen finished by Fizz, so able to do more damage in those trades if he spaces his abilities outright, getting that empowered damage on after each ability cast. Orianna buying a No Magic Mantle, looking to stop some of the damage coming out from this Fizz-Zac combo. Twitch gets to go back to base, is down right around 12 CS, but still gets to pick up his BF Sword early, so has the options, for that raw stats provide him. Zac with those 2 assists does get to pick up his Skirmisher Saber into that red smite. Inching closer to Cinder Hulk. Give him % increased health from bonus health, so once he gets to buy health. Darius and Malphite trading. Malphite looking to run away. Increased movement speed from hitting that Q allows him to get out of range of Darius, but Darius with Phage gets movement speed on last hit, so looking to use that advantage to chase this Malphite down. Fish comes out from Fizz. Orianna trying to trade back, taking a ton of damage. But Fizz not being able to fully burst Orianna even after hitting the ultimate. Darius and Malphite going through. Darius passive hits. Malphite uses his ultimate. Darius is going to get an auto and Dunkaroo the Malphite, and that is the 2nd solo kill for Darius. Darius, being the lane bully that champion is playing lane very, very well. Up 35 CS. Fight building a cloth armor, looking to try and get as much armor as possible. Armor stacking with his passive shield and his W, so allowing him to be very tanky. And also stopping the damage coming out from this triple AD comp, from this Darius and Twitch. But the magic damage threats from Zac and Fizz will be able to damage him through that. Hextech Revolver picked up by Fizz, so 2 partial items that are very, very strong when coupled together. Hextech Revolver doing bonus damage on 1 auto on a cooldown, and Sheen doing bonus damage after every spell cast. Fizz able to proc both of those very easily with his Q. Allows for a lot of very sneaky bursts coming out from that, coupled with, and that all coming from just 1 ability. That might be able to push him to a point where he can solo kill this Orianna. However, she does have barrier up. See if that plays into this. Vayne and Twitch trading. Twitch very low, but does even the CS out. Nami able to heal him up. Lee Sin camping this bot lane brush, hoping they get aggressive here. Nami Q's forward and gets a huge burst of damage onto Twitch. Darius now 40 CS up, close to finishing his Black Cleaver. Elastic Slingshot charged up, does land onto the Orianna. Q lands, smacks them together. Zac ults him backward. Orianna gets to the 2-man ult, uses her E, has flash up but chooses not to use it and dies to the Zac gang. So that's now 3 kills onto this Fizz. Fizz is going to be able to one-shot this Vayne or Orianna whenever he chooses if the kills keep going to him like they have already. Vayne now with the BF sword, able to trade Lee Sin and Zac fighting in the jungle. Nami ult goes out, hits 3 people. Lee Sin falling very low. TP comes out for the Malphite. Malphite, a little bit of a wasted TP. Ult forces the Zac flash. Zac very low. Fizz looking to flank and Twitch running around in stealth. Perhaps looking for the assassination, but the blue team is going to get to walk out of that with just a little bit of wounds to fix up by going back to base. Jenna almost at her Ardent Sensor already. The Ancient Coin line expediting her gold gain tremendously. This ult goes down, barely lands on the Orianna. Orianna does take the damage. Almost 100 to 0 by the Fizz and is going to die to the autos. Flashes away but dies to the DOT. And this Fizz is doing a ton of damage now. 4-0 with a Dark Seal. That stacking item is working wonders for him at this point. If they can't hemorrhage the loss if they can't hemorrhage the gold and kills that this Fizz is gaining, it's going to spiral into something they can't control. Darius taking first blood tower, just giving him even more gold than that. And this red team is starting to run away with this game. 6-0 up 4.5k gold. Darius popping his 5-stack passive on a Malphite, hits the Q and Dunkaroos the rock guy once again. This Darius 3-0 solo lane up there. Malphite down 65 CS. And that is a 5,000 gold lead 12 minutes into this game. And although Malphite might be a mountain, they have a bigger mountain to climb into this deficit that they find themselves in here. Vayne looking to kill a Twitch. Doesn't get the auto off, so only 2 seconds on the passive, but still chunks him about 1/4 of his health. Protobelt finished by Fizz, so if he can get up close and personal, can use that shotgun-esque ability to get a ton of burst out. Zac finishing Cinderhulk and Ninja Tabbies. So negating a lot of the damage that Vayne and Lee Sin are going to be able to do. Vayne tumbles forward, dodges the bubble, gets a thirst stack passive onto Twitch. Twitch pops that expunge and runs away. Black Cleaver finished on Darius. And the red team is starting to hit their item spikes here 12 minutes into the game. Zac over the wall looking for the dive here. Just clearing out vision in the tri-bush. Charging the elastic slingshot. Misses the Vayne. Vayne runs out. Zac fully charges ult and bounces forward. Does tag Vayne with the damage. Gets the auto and slaps them together. Twitch pops his ultimate. Sprays and prays through. Vayne exhausted, but is going to kill Twitch. The Zac caught him in a passive on the back end. Fizz looks to assassinate the Vayne. Vayne flashes out. Fish misses and Fizz is starting to take a ton of damage. 4-man Orianna ult. Excuse me, 5-man Orianna ult, but all of the red team wiping out with barely any health. And that Orianna ult saving them from what could be a much more disastrous fight. Lee Sin does end up going down, so another kill for the red side, but that is best case scenario for this blue team from the spot that they are in. The only lane that doesn't seem to be absolutely destroying is this bot lane, Vayne being up 20 CS. But Vayne is not going to be able to survive against this Fizz or Darius if they can get onto her. Vayne's going to have to play this game extremely well if she's going to be able to scale into the late game.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Watch it!
Hell, you can feel.
Thank you for staying tuned to the ROG Arena at the Microsoft Store at Easton Town Center. This is the grand finals of our weekly tournament. We have Team World Class, or sorry, excuse me, Team Three Fifths Brown versus Team Boosted Animals. We are doing a best of three, so the first team to 2 wins will be the team to win it all for this week. So we're going to get right into picking bans here. Team Three Fifths Brown immediately bans the Rakan, seeing the power that it provided Team Boosted Animals in their last game, taking away that engage potential right off the bat. Don't want to have to deal with the power that brings. Team Boosted Animals bans out Maokai, very, very highly banned champion this tournament. Not wanting to deal with that magic damage tankiness. Galio banned out as well for the same reason. So very standard bans here. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Cho'Gath, the second ban from Team Boosted Animals. So outside of the Rakan, 3 magic damage tanks banned away. Make it 4 with the Sejuani ban. So definitely trying to stay away from this engage that these champions bring, as well as taking a lot of the magic damage tank potential out of this game right off the start. So we'll see if there will be any different picks, anything interesting that comes out of the woodworks here from either team, or if they'll try to stay a little more standard to what the meta generally is. Tristana, the last ban from Team Boosted Animals, so taking away that late game damage threat. Riven insta-picked by their top laner. On the side of Team Three Fizz Brown, definitely a comfort pick. I seem to remember this person being a Riven main, so very comfortable on that champion, willing to pick that first and not worry about who he's laning against. Xayah picked again for Team Boosted Animals, so the AD they played last game did very, very well, picked up again, as well as Alistar. So Alistar fills a lot of the same role as Rakan. Rakan and Alistar both being very high engaged champions. But as opposed to Rakan's ability to get out, Alistar instead is a very tanky champion, so able to get in and then tank damage as he tries to get out, or stays up and soaks that damage up so his carries don't have to. Yasuo and Malzahar picked for the blue team. Xfinity being a Yasuo one-trick. Can play that champion in any lane, so could be mid, could be AD, could be jungle. We'll see where that goes. Malzahar is picked up, so that more than likely taking away the potential for a Yasuo mid lane pick. So we'll see where he ends up going, and Jace is the final pick for the red team. More than likely that Jace going top lane. Jace doing very, very well against Riven with that range for him, so we'll see if he's able to take control of that lane or if Riven is able to pop off, so to speak. Second round of bans are going to come through. Morgana is banned away, so trying to limit the support pool from Team Three Fifths Brown. Morgana with that black shield able to make champion CC immune, as well as having a snare and stun. It's a very good support champion. Syndra taken away from the red side, so not wanting to have to deal with that burst, especially with the champions they have picked. Don't do Yasuo being generally squishy, and Malzahar and Riven Riven and Malzahar taking that damage in the face if their abilities are down. And Janna being the last ban from Team Boosted Animals, so taking away that support power that we saw in the last game, just being so strong with Ardent Sensor. And Rammus the last ban for Team Three Fifths Brown, so taking away that 5th AP tank. Saw the power of that champion in Team Boosted Animals last game. Ziggs is picked up for Team Boosted Animals. Very good long-range control mage, able to siege towers just as fast as Tristana and wave clear with those bombs. Warwick picked in the jungle, so this is almost definitely a Yasuo AD carry. Warwick's sustain very high, and Veigar switching to perhaps Zyra. We'll see what's locked in. Lulu is the pickup, so we'll be a Lulu Yasuo bot lane. Have seen this before. Yasuo actually getting a pentakill in this lane. Lulu very good with Ardent Sensor, able to keep this Yasuo alive while Yasuo is in melee range, able to give him shields, health, everything Yasuo needs to stay alive. Gragas hovered for Team Boosted Animals. And it looks like it is going to get picked unless there's a last minute switch. Gragas, the last of the AP tanks, is picked up, so Team Three Fifths Brown, a very, very good team fight, team comp. Riven doing a ton of AoE CC with her stun and her Q. Warwick able to sustain and apply that AoE fear. Malzahar's ult lockdown, which we've seen in previous games today, able to negate one champion almost entirely. And Yasuo and Lulu, a very good team comp to or duo to fight in 1v1 or 2v2 skirmishes. Pocomp actually picked out 4 Team Boosted Animals, Ziggs and Jace doing very good long-range damage. So looking to wave clear with that Xayah Ziggs and then try and poke out Team 3-Fist Brown with the Jace Ziggs Xayah combo. And we'll see if that's able to work. The Gragas and Alistar doing very well at disengaging any team fight attempts. So we'll see which team comp prevails. This is our first game of our best of 3 in our grand finals at this ROG Arena. We have a 3-minute delay, so we'll be back momentarily to get into this grand finals game. Get your Pog champs and your Kappas ready. We are getting into this first game of our best of 3 finals here at the ROG Arena. We are going to jump right into this. Both teams conveniently putting themselves in the correct order, so I don't have to move them around. So this game is going off to a splendid start already. Looks like Red is picking out to stop any level 1 cheese. Alistar opting for the Relic Shield as opposed to the other 2 support items. Relic Shield giving gold to both him and his AD carry when he last hits a minion, and does get a little bit of an execute if they're low health. So able to share gold that way. Warwick opting to not go potions and instead go a rejuve bead. That choice is part due to Warwick's innate sustain, has a lot of lifesteal and health gain in his kit. It also puts him closer to his Tiamat, which is a very, very good item on him, allows him to do a lot of AoE damage, and will eventually become the Titanic Hydra, which will stack with the health that he will inevitably buy. Riven going Doran Shield to stop, or try and regen and sustain through the damage that Jace will do. Jace being able to switch from range and melee form at will will more than likely try and stay in range form and poke the Riven out until Riven tries to engage, or until she's low, and then switch into hammer form and try and finish her out or push her back. And then that, standard starts. Ignite on Yasuo in the bot lane, so looking for a very aggressive lane style. Barrier from both mid laners, so defensive, probably going to try and just wave clear it out. Teleports in the top lanes. Heal on the Lulu to couple with that wind speaker, so no exhaust here, so expect a bloodbath. A lot of fighting in this game. Brack is actually starting on his right camp as opposed to his bot lane. Blue side pinging it out, so knowing that they're there. Red team knowing where the blue sides are as well. Early aggression. Riven queuing forward, looking to fight the Jace. Stops the Q damage with the knockup, so great trade there. We'll see if she's able to keep that up. Expect a lot of these early autos from the Jace, and then him to run back in the bush, stop the minion aggro from coming out. Riven's going to try and get as much farm as she can. Once this bot lane gets level 2 is when they actually start to come online a little bit here. Cowbell from Alistar. Best emote in the game, if you ask me. Level 2 from this Yasuo Lulu bot lane. Red team pings out the Warwick, so they know he's around with a good ward placed at the entrance of the jungle there on the bot side. Yasuo keeping up in farm fairly well. Nothing too interesting happening early, both teams playing fairly safe. Red team knowing they have a good late game team fight comp, so looking to just get there. Riven down CS, but that's expected in the Jace lane. Gonna try and get the farm that she can and look to scale later. Takes up CS early on the Malzahar, winning the wave clear battle in that mid lane. Six getting a ward in the river on the top side, so trying to keep himself safe from these Warwick ganks as he pushes Malzahar into his turret. Riven getting good shields to stop this Jace damage, sitting right around the same amount of health, so WQ comes out from the Alistar. Polymorph down to the Alistar so he can't get the stun. Yasuo gets the third hit. Lulu goes very low, forces the flash and heal. Yasuo gets a 2-man knockup, but great aggressive start early on from this Xayah Alistar combo. Riven gets a knockup on Jace under tower, gets a little bit of damage there. Stuns to try and get the last hit, but will miss a majority of the wave, down around 10 CS. Gragas backing and getting an early Tracker's Knife, so looking to get as much ward coverage as he can for his team to keep him safe from these Warwick ganks. Try to take over the map that way. Riven falling a little far behind in CS. It's expected in this lane, so nothing too out of the ordinary, but is going to hurt her ability to make plays later in this game. Gragas on the top side of the map, perhaps looking to drive Riven here. Pops the Scrying Orb, trying to find vision in their top side jungle. Isn't going to find anything. Gets a deep ward by the blue buff. Riven pings out the Jace missing. Jace does go back to base, picks up another Doran's Blade and a longsword, so as well as boots, so looking for a very aggressive start. Going for pure stats and damage, just trying to force this Riven in as bad of a situation as she can. Bot gets a deep ward and gonna come back and push his wave out. Yasuo even in CS with Xayah. Lost chapter picked up by the Ziggs. able to get that mana regen on, level up, stay in lane and push waves out as much as he can. Alistar sitting in the bush trying to get a good WQ combo on Yasuo or Lulu. Team out is finished by Warwick, so good first back from him. Yasuo hits a knockup on Xayah, but is stopped with the CC. Knows the wind wall back, gets first blooded by the Xayah, pulling the feathers back. An interesting engage by the Yasuo. Yasuo not doing that well until he gets some items, but trying to make a play in his CC chains by the Alistar, and perhaps a misclick on his wind wall allows Xayah to get free autos onto the Yasuo, making it very hard for him to do anything, and he does end up going down without using flash or ignite. Xayah with another early lead this game. Gonna be very careful that the same situation doesn't happen next game, this game as it did the last time we saw this Xayah played, where she begins to become something that can't be stopped. Does get an early BF sword back. Yasuo only gets to pick up a Brawler's Greave and a dagger, so building towards that Zeal item, but definitely behind in combat stats. Riven with a big wave to clean up here. Is down 20 CS, but we'll close that lead fairly well. Ziggs up CS in the middle. Every lane up quite a bit of CS here. Red team up about 1,500 gold, 7 minutes in. Lost chapter picked up by Malzahar as well, so both mid laners building fairly similarly, just looking to keep their mana pool high as they farm out the wave. Ziggs clearing the pink ward, putting the dot brush by that Warwick earlier this game. Bammy Simber finished on top of the Tracker's Knife from Gragas, so is going the Cinderhawk build, the more tanky build. Gonna try and frontline as much damage as he can and allow Ziggs and Xayah to do the damage that they can. Alistar helping with that. Bramblefest finished by Alistar, so an early armor item, trying to reflect that damage back to this Yasuo and try to stop the cheese. Gets a WQ on 2 champions. Ignite drops down on the Lulu. Ziggs ult falls down, stunned by the Alistar E. Yasuo of course a flash heal and wind wall to try and survive this. And Ziggs over the walls throwing bombs to Yasuo. Yasuo being very low, and this bot lane forced to use everything they can just to survive that gank. And now that it's down, it's able to be return ganked on once again. Riven doing what she can to get farm. Doing well considering the lane that she's in. Being down 1 kill and 1,500 gold is not the biggest deficit in the world. Definitely have been bigger comebacks in League of Legends. Red team putting a ton of pressure on this tier 1 tower. Is actually going to get first blood tower because of that gank, so very good pickup gold wise for them. Gonna put them up right around 2,500 gold. Xayah's gonna get the back and spend a good hefty chunk of cash. Except that Caulfield's Warhammer. Going for that Essence Reaver crit build again. Expect once she gets to 2 items to her to be a very scary damage threat. Yasuo can't keep up and Farmer kills. He's gonna have a hard time killing her purely on an item standpoint. Alistar and Xayah going top lane now, setting Jace in the bot lane to 2v1. Xayah and Alistar are going to try and take this top tier 2 tower. Riven already behind is going to have a hard time dealing with this Xayah, who has a kill and a 20 CF lead. Malzahar flash forward, gets the snare. Warwick flash, tries to get the ult on Ziggs, but Ziggs flashes away and stays safe from that gank. Ziggs did pick up the move up from his Gragas earlier. Three-man top, gonna look to dive this Riven. Riven's already back. They're instead just going to take tower. Very, very well played on the map. Knowing that they had the rotation advantage, this bot lane takes another free tower up here. Chase misses the EQ on Warwick. Warwick eat back into the team. Does survive because of his lifesteal for quite a bit, but the Zigzag picking up the kill from the river. He also dropping the wind wall and trying to stop this tower push. And Warwick just stepping into a place where they didn't have control of at all. Without his flash, which was blown in that failed gank in the mid lane, was cannon fodder to the Jace and the Xayah combo. Phantom Dancer almost completed for Yasuo. Gonna try and hold this tower. They are gonna be forced to give it up. He also does have the knockup now. He's gonna look to perhaps get aggressive, but instead gonna fund the wave out. Pick up that gold and play safe. Xayah now up 25 CS onto the Yasuo. Zig's up right around 10. So those two lanes keeping their lead, but Riven has actually closed the CS lead to within 10. He also hits a knockup on the Xayah. Ignites, goes onto her, Lulu wall goes up. Xayah is going to fall to the Yasuo. Sorry, to the Lulu. Yasuo has his ult pop, so isn't going to take a ton of damage here, but a great pickup for the blue team. Unfortunate that the Lulu got the kill over the Yasuo, but a kill is a kill, and the gold goes to that team, closing the gold lead to 3,000. If they can keep making picks like that, this Yasuo's going to be able to stay in this game. So gets to finish his back, doesn't get popped because of that shield. This top tower is going to continue to get pressured. Red team pinging on the Rift Herald, so looking to take that objective off the map. Morel and Namicon finish from both Malzahar and Zig, so Grievous Wound's going to be able to apply to champions who are low enough. Jace hits an EQ on Riven, doesn't do too much damage. Phage and Kindle Gem finished for Jace. So Jace going for the Black Cleaver build, going a little more bruiser and less damage, at least to start here. Adventure completed the Yasuo, so Yasuo halfway to 100% crit, and once he gets that Infinity Edge, we'll be right back in this game. 3-man squad in the midfield. Excuse me, in the mid lane. Cloud Dragon on the table, not sure if the red team will choose to prioritize that or pushing a tower down. Alistar clearing a ton of vision in the river. Ping's top lane, so that's where they're going to look to put their pressure. Gragas is rotated up that way, and Ziggs always has the threat of the global ultimate. Also camping in the bush, seeing if Alistar is there. Alistar does show up, W's him away, but misses the Q. Pops his E, but doesn't have enough. Yasuo dashing in and out, trying to get the knockup onto Xayah. Gets the knockup charge, throws it out, and makes the best of a bad situation. Not knowing Alistar was there, could have been went very poorly if the WQ had actually landed, but a little mistiming from the Alistar allows him to get some good damage off and clear the wave and stop their push for now. Cinderhawk finished from Gragas, so starting to get tanky. Black Cleaver finished by Jace, so gonna be able to shred that armor of this Riven if he can continue to fight her. Essence Reaver finished by Xayah, so the red team, 15 minutes into this game, starting to pick up 3 items. Or their first items here. Starting to become a scary team comp in this mid game. And their poke comp is going to start to shine if they can get their damage online. This blue team's going to have to fight to continue their scaling, or they're going to get stomped out before they have a chance to let some of their champions come online. Ardent Sensor finished by Lulu, so good power spike there. Who's gonna get stolen by the red side? Red team, but this is effectively their jungle right now. Rift Herald pop mid lane. Riven pops her ult. Flash. Qs the Ziggs. Gragas ult and Ziggs barrier pop. Riven getting cornered by 5 people. Eat by Jace over the wall. Gragas forced a flash body slam to get the kill. Ziggs picks it up with the ultimate. Riven in a bad spot there, just getting a little too aggressive without the control of the map, and Ziggs uses that satchel charge to finish the tower off swiftly. Red pings a dragon. It looks like they're going to rotate over that way, so Cloud Dragon will go down here momentarily. don't imagine blue team will try and contest this dragon. Definitely not strong enough at this point. Down 4,000 gold and 2 towers. Very little map pressure right now. Ziggs is going to finish the top lane tower with his satchel charge. That's going to push their gold lead to almost 5,000 here. Also, even in with the Xayah and CS, so catching right back up in this lane. Is losing by a kill and an assist, but that gold is semi-negligible. Ziggs up 2 kills and 15 CS, so very strong. Malzahar able to wave clear safely, but not able to have much pressure on his Ziggs other than that. Ziggs being able to match his wave clear very, very well. Glacial Shroud picked up by Gragas. Potential Iceborne Gauntlet to come out of that, or Righteous Glory. Iceborne Gauntlet would be the more damaging route. Righteous Glory is a little safer. Good engage in tank stats. Warwick picks up Cinderhulk, so going a more tanky Warwick build. Opens up Riven to build damage if she would like. But it might benefit this blue team more for her to go tank as well. Banshee's Veil being completed by the Ziggs here, it appears. Xayah picks up her Zeal, so going for another crit item. Perhaps Phantom Dancer or one of the Rapid Fire or Static Shiv items. BF Sword picked up by Yasuo, so well on his way to that Infinity Edge. Once he gets to that, will be a very strong champion. Get that 2-item power spike in. Merc Tread's completed by the Warwick, so trying to weather this magic damage CC coming out from Alsar and Gragas. Red looking for a death push opportunity here, or going to try and push his bot tower with his big wave, but decides to back off instead. Ziggs split pushing in the top lane. If somebody doesn't go deal with him, is going to be able to promptly clear out or kill this turret. Riven does go up to stop him from split pushing, so we'll be able to clear that wave out. But 3 people grouping mid. Jace waiting in the jungle. Steals the red buff with it in the Q. And red now setting their sights on this tier 2 mid turret. Remember, they only have to get it low, and Ziggs can come through with his satchel charge and finish it off without having minions there at all. Blue team almost forced to give this turret up now. Red team advancing their gold lead to around 6,000, now up 4 towers. Baron spawns in a minute. And as red team starts to finish their second items, blue team is just barely finishing their first. Riven still sitting on incomplete items. Gonna have to fight an uphill battle to stay in this game. Red team grouping on this top side. Baron spawning in 15 seconds. Looking to control the vision around that. Not that it's necessarily the right play, but control over that objective allows them to play around that side of the map a lot better. Jace now splitting in the bot lane. Has a serrated Dirk. Is going to go one of the lethality items. Youmuu's Ghostblade, a favorite for most people, allowing that movement speed and mobility factor on top of the movement speed he gains from his acceleration gate.
A summoner has disconnected.
And we have a pause coming through. We'll be back into this in 1 second.
A summoner has reconnected.
And we are back from the pause. Some technical issues sorted out promptly. We're going to jump right back into this game. Riven and Warwick spotted out by a ward that was placed by the blue team. Riven looking to get a little aggressive on Gragas. Gragas just body slamming her and taking the damage. Explosive caster into the wall. Zaya over the wall. Over the river wall looking to get some damage out. But Riven's just going to clear the pink ward instead. Warwick's going to secure his blue buff. Righteous Glory is going to be what's going to come out of that Glacial Shroud for Gragas, so looking for that engage potential to increase the engage potential he already has on that champion. Red side looking to death push up here. Find the Lulu, body slam flash goes through. Warwick ults onto the Zaya, but it's W'd away from the Alistar. The E is popped with a 3-man fear. Lulu ults the Warwick for a 3-man knockup. Zaya's forced to ult. Also in the backline, flash E's onto the Zaya, gets the Q. Yep, Zaya goes down. Malefic Vision drops. And that is a clean 3-for-0 teamfight for the blue team, and that is exactly what they needed to get back into this game. Jace is splitting. A Riven TPs to match. And that was just a well-layered CC teamfight from the blue side. Yasuo, or the Warwick ult, which was stopped by the Alistar, into the Warwick Fear, which landed into the Lulu knockup, allowed the Yasuo to get in there, but the Chase burst the Riven under tower after she TPs down to stop this push. And that is a good solo kill from the Jace. But Yasuo being able to get onto that Zaya shows the power that this pick has, even though they're not necessarily winning the game right now. They are still down around 4,000 gold. They are able to fight this game, or to stay in this game. This 4,000 gold lead coming almost exclusively from turrets. Red team not having a single turret down yet. Ziggs finishing his Zanya, so definitely wary of the Riven, Yasuo, and Warwick threat. Trying to keep himself alive as much as possible to do that DPS. Black Cleaver completed by Riven. Yasuo finishing his Infinity Edge and Phantom Dancer, now with that 100% crit spot, is officially a high damage threat champion. Not that he wasn't before, but that ability to get 100% crit chance, coupled with the armor penetration on critical strike that he gains from his ultimate, if he's able to get it off, will allow him to do a ton of damage to the Zaya. And if the Zaya is not positioned well or peeled for, she could go down very quickly. Malzahar ult showing its power in that last fight, locking down the Ziggs so that he couldn't provide any damage. So even if the Malzahar isn't able to burst out, champions like Ziggs can. His ability to lock someone down is why that champion is picked. Red team is grouping around Baron. Blue team is spotted by the ward that they've placed. Chase splitting bot lane still, and Ziggs in the mid. Blue team just clearing wards. Static shift completed by the Zaya, so now it her 2-item power spike. The burst coming out from that static shift proc, which can crit, coupled with the cooldown reduction gained by the Essence Reaver, will allow her to not only do damage, but be able to spam her spells and get those feathers out so that she can get the snare and the damage out of them. Youmuu's Ghost Blade completed by Jace. So red team getting to their 2-item power spikes right around the 25-minute mark here. Rylai's comes out from Malzahar, so able to provide a slow. And the Baron on the map, the red team is just pushing waves out and clearing the vision from the blue squad to try and keep this objective something that they control, as opposed to the other way around. 2 scrying orbs coming out from both Zaya and Ziggs. So good long range partial vision, but those wards are easily cleared, so once they get spotted, do die fairly quickly. Currently in a vision stalemate here. Both teams just opting to swap and allow their Jace and Riven to split in the bot side of the map. This actually benefits the blue team more than you would think. It allows them to get to their item power spikes, which have been halted by the gold lead that the red team has. Allows them to semi-catch back up in this game. Xayah appears to be alone, but the Alistar and the Gragas attempting to catch him out on the backside. Yasuo is now turning his sights onto Xayah, gets her to about half health, but then backs off. Alistar popping his ultimate earlier in that, right before the vision wards, or control ward spotted them, so that ultimate is now down, which is a lot of his tankiness. Riven getting the Q knockup and the stun on Ziggs. Ziggs flashing and going the other way with the Sept charge, allowing him to escape. And this pressure has allowed the red team to set their sights on this Baron. Also in blue on the top side. No pings going down, so it might be unaware of it. And that is a clean Baron for the red side. Yasuo and Lulu force it back. Knowing that there are at least 3 people on the top side of the map. Guardmail completed by Alistar. So as well as the damage reflection will cut the healing from champions like Alistar on those auto attacks. Banshee's Veil completed by Ziggs, so gonna be able to block a spell, as well as the magic resistance it provides innately will keep him alive longer in these fights. Bloodthirsts are being purchased by the Xayah. Could be Mercurial Scimitar. The QSS component being more important than the damage, if that's what you're going for, it has not been purchased, so Bloodthirster seems the more logical pickup. Caulfield's Warhammer, Vamp Scepter, and Pickaxe being built by Riven, so expected Death's Dance to come out of her soon. The damage mitigation that's then applied as a damage tick, which can be healed by the damage dealt, physical damage, the physical damage that Riven's dealt will be a good boost for her. Yasuo looking to perhaps assassinate this. Jace misses it for his Q. Yasuo all procced by the Lulu wall. Jace already half health before he can turn his sights on the Lulu. Lulu pops a heal, but the Lulu goes down, or excuse me, the Jace goes down and the Lulu is alive. Riven being engaged on by 3, but splashes out and is safe from that. And that is a great pickup for this Yasuo. Yasuo slowly but surely climbing his way into this game. Has built a Jerem's Fist, so is more than likely going for that frozen mallet. Riven engages on the Xayah. Xayah gets out of it. Yasuo's now turning his sights onto her. She pops the heal and the ultimate, but the wind wall blocks the ult. Feathers being pulled back. Ziggle falls down. It's going to hit 2 people, but Yasuo flashes out of it. They have their sights turned on to Alistar. Alistar is going to go down to this 5-man squad, and this Yasuo has very quickly come online. Now 3-1-5, doing a ton of damage. Played that fight very, very well. Got past the front line of Team Boosted Animals, through the wind wall back so the feathers couldn't snare him, and then proceeded to decimate the Xayah. Yasuo can be a very scared champion if allowed to be untouched like he is now. Ziggs almost doing the Baron with the bomb. Yasuo and Jace squaring off 1v1 here. Gargoyle Stoneplate completed by Gragas. So Gragas insanely tanky. Yasuo and Lulu turning their sights on the Jace once again. The ult combos from both of them going once again in the polymorph so that Jace has no chance to get out. GA is popped and they're going to look to push this wave into tower and get a free kill. The knockup does land out of GA and Jace goes down again, and that is another kill picked up on the solo Jace, and this Yasuo goes from being behind 2 kills in lane to 4-1-5. He's turned on by both tanks here. They try to CC him under tower. Ziggs is coming down to provide the damage, but Riven has turned her sights onto Riven. Satchel charge interrupts the knockup, so the knockup can't land. Gragas trying to AoE them down before they can take the tower, but ignoring them and autoing the tower anyway. Riven has come to help, and that is the first tower for the blue squad. And all of a sudden, this blue team is up 5 kills. Still down 5,000 gold because of this 4 turret difference, but it's definitely still in this game. Rosenmount completed by Yasuo because of the kills that he just picked up. That Guardian's Angel that Jace has purchased while keeping him alive there ultimately didn't save him and is now a wasted item slot for 5.5 minutes. So I'll be interested to see if that hurts him spending that amount of gold to have it wasted almost immediately. With only an inhibitor turret on the bot side of the map, the red switches the Jace split push to the top lane, looking to kill that last tier 2 tower of the blue team. Team grouping mid and trying to take this tower, but the wave clear from Ziggs stops their advances in their tracks. With no map objectives up other than towers right now, red team is more than okay with just turtling and wave clearing right now and waiting until there is an objective for them to take. Baron just spawned in 2 minutes, so that will more than likely be the next objective that is fought over. Zaya's still sitting on a BF and Vamp Scepter, so still waiting on that Bloodthirster pickup. More than likely sitting on quite a bit of gold, but not enough to finish that item specifically. So wasted gold in her inventory until she's able to go back and spend it. Almost every champion right now sitting at 3 items. 32 minutes into this game, these teamfights can become very explosive very quickly. All summoner spells, most summoner spells are up other than the flashes from Jace and Yasuo. Those are going to be up very soon. Jace is back in the bot lane, split pushing once again. Red team clearing vision once again. And it appears to be just another vision war as they wait for the Baron to spawn. 30 seconds up until that objective is online. Curious to see which team decides to take the first steps into clearing that, or attempting to kill that. Righteous Glory being purchased by the Lulu, so looking to give as much shield power and AoE healing as possible. Relonomicon, Zanya's, and Rylai's finished by this Malzahar, so Malzahar is extremely hard to kill as well as having a lot of cooldown reduction to be able to cast his spells almost at will. If he can get an ultimate down onto the Ziggs or Jace, could spell defeat for the red team, as this Yasuo has shown he has no problems dealing with the Zaya's lead. All-Star flashes to try and stun the Lulu. Lulu forced to ultimate and flash out of that. So flashes traded by supports, but Lulu ult being burned. Yasuo with the BF sword. Could go BF sword or Mercurial Scimitar, both okay options here. The team clearing vision. Riven is in the bot side, looking to push that wave in. Has TP available, but instead chooses to run up and attempt to join the team without having to waste that global. Another Glacial Shroud purchased by Gragas, so very wary of this Yasuo's damage. Looking to build as much armor as possible and try to stop him from just running through him and ignoring him, or even being able to burst him out. Only magic damage threat on this team is actually Malzahar, so armor is a very good purchase. Ninja Tabby's being completed by the Jace, as well as a Last Whisper. So looking to build that armor penetration. Not sure if it'll go Mortal Reminder or Lord Dominic's. Infinity Edge finished by the Xayah, so opting to sit on the Vamp Scepter instead of going for our last crit item. So not only does she have 70% crit strike chance, she also has increased crit damage, so her autos are going to do a ton of damage. Baron and Elder Dragon both online, so 2 major objectives on the table. Riven has actually chosen to start the Elder Dragon, but it has been pinged out by the red side. Jace is going to go down and try and stop her from soloing that. It's now a 4v4 in the mid lane. Red is going down, looking to catch Riven while she's in the pit. Blue's gonna try and help here. More than likely gonna have a team fight. Riven jumps out of the pit. Yasuo gets WQ by Alistar into the Jace damage. 4-man Yasuo wall. Gets back into Xayah. Xayah forces all, and Yasuo flashes and gets a kill on Xayah. Malzahar drops the ult on the Alistar, so Alistar can't provide the CC. Yasuo dies with the Ziggs. Alistar goes down to the Malzahar damage, and now it's just Jace and Ziggs alive. Ziggs dropping bombs on the top side of the map, but not going to be enough. Trading Yasuo for 3 kills. Jace looking to assassinate Lulu. Riven jumping in, gets eat out and forced to run away. Ziggs and Jace looking to do as much poke damage as they can from range. Blue team opting to just run away. And an interesting fight. Blue team looking to start the Elder Dragon. Goes to support the Riven. Riven actually jumps over the wall out of the fight and are forced to engage. Yasuo with an incredible 4-man ultimate. Locks down 4 of their champions and allows him to turn his sights onto Xayah. Picking up the kill before dying to the Ziggs ult. Malzahar and Lulu both still not dying, so doing a very good job keeping themselves alive. And with neither of these objectives taken, there more than likely will be another team fight that will come out of this. Blue team sweeping wards around the Baron. Yasuo down, looking to take his red buff, so not in the fight yet. Yasuo being a majority of their damage. So Blue team will wait to have Yasuo there before they choose to engage anything. Jason 6 backing, so it is a 3v4 on the map right now as Malzahar is going to back to base. Looks like everybody's just going to farm out the waves, get the jungle gold while they wait for the rest of their team to show up and clear some wards. Blue team is grouping on the top side of the map, so Baron could be their objective of choice here. Red team does have 2 dragons to blue team's 1, so Elder Dragon less desirable for this blue side, getting less out of it. Blue team pulling the gold lead within 4,000. Jay still opting to sit in this bot lane and split push. Does have teleport to match any teamfight that's going to happen here. But just racking those CS numbers up. Right around 300 CS, 6 farming just about 400 CS a minute. Sitting at, 100 CS a minute. Sitting at right around 400 CS. Just passing that number actually. Also at 355 and 40 minutes into this game. We have some high CS gold numbers. Both teams grouping up around this Baron. Lulu taking half her health from Jay's EQ into an auto. Red pings onto the Elder Dragon. So we'll see if the Elder Dragon turns into an objective that is fought over. Blue team is more than okay trying to trade Baron for it. Red team was fast on the rotation here. It's going to take it before the blue team has a chance to match the Baron. Blue is going to go for the Baron, but the red team is already on their way. Acceleration gate from Jace giving them the movement speed to get there. They are on their way. Blue team trying to burst this out, but the red team is going to show up and make this a fight. Jigsaw drops, hits 4 members. Redemption goes down to counteract that damage. And blue team trying to finish the Baron. Yasuo goes down, but is interrupted by the Alistar. Yasuo, a Riven on the backside, looking to kill the Xayah. Zao goes down. Does keep herself alive. Ziggs picks up the kill on Riven. Warwick does secure the Baron. Malzahar goes down, but Jace ends up picking up the kill on the Malzahar, and red pings into the mid lane. Red's going to try and use this Baron to end the game. Warwick in the top. Warwick backstopped by the Gragas, so gonna be slow to come back and help. Yasuo, Lulu, and left to defend this base until Warwick gets there. Wind wall thrown out, so stops half a second of siege here, but red team is just gonna look to destroy as many turrets as they can with this Baron before blue team respawns and push this gold lead farther and farther up. Grand Minion's going to make it hard to siege. Red team has a lot of wave clear, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Yasuo looking to do damage, but doesn't do anything to Zalsa right now. He's knocked up on the Gragas. Warwick pops the 6. Zanya. Banshee's still on the 6. Riven all goes down. Yasuo looking to get an engage here. W goes up from the Alistar. 5 stacks on that passive. Means he can stun them up. Riven and Yasuo trying to do something in the backline. Riven does go down. Lulu down before she can use the shield to keep her team alive. Malzahar goes down, and Yasuo and Warwick left to fend for themselves. Jace with the kill in the jungle on the Warwick, and Yasuo, unless he can do a miraculous 1v5 stop here, won't be able to end this game. Doing a ton of damage to Gragas. Fighting within the wind wall, so making this range damage from Ziggs and Xayah non-existent, but Red team is just going to ignore him and turn their sights onto the Nexus. And with that, that is going to be the first game of our best of 3 series here for our grand finals. Team Boosted Animals takes the first victory, and we will get back into our game 2 here momentarily.
Seriously? Seriously?
Lame.
Learn from your mistakes.
We are going to go into the Game 2 match here at the RG Arena at the Microsoft Store at Easton Town Center. Could be the final game if Team 3 Fifths Brown can't pull out the victory here. Looks like they flew through some bands. We've got Cho'Gath, Maokai, Rakan, and
Never
Riven
look
all
back.
banned. So Cho'Gath, Maokai, and Rakan all bands we've talked about in the past. Those tanks and the engage that they provide are second to none. Jace being banned out, as well as Jace being banned out by Team Boosted Animals and Riven by Team 3 Fifths Brown. Is an interesting swap because those are the champions that each team played, but
People fear
respecting the
what they
power of those
cannot
champions, banning them
understand.
away, and Sindra the last ban. So very similar bans or picks to the last game. Sejuani left open and is immediately picked up in the first round. So that magic damage tank will be the first game that we get to see her in the jungle, riding her boar Bristle. See how that engage and CC that she provides is allowed to run amok. Galio left open, so Galio picked up 4 Team 3 Fifths Brown. More than likely will be in the mid lane. We'll be able to counter the magic damage dealt by Sejuani. We'll be in the mid lane. Rammus being hovered. His power ball being letting him move around the map very quickly and providing some extra CC. So that will be a pickup. Galio into Rammus. Galio CC into the Rammus ult. A very good pick combo. So we'll see if that's able to be pulled off here in this game. Could be a win condition for Team 3 Fifths Brown. Morgana is picked up, so see if that goes mid. More than likely will be a support to try and keep this Draven hover alive from the CC that Galio and Rammus provide. That black shield making whoever it is on immune to CC until it is uh, used or it goes away, times out. Draven hover. And the Caitlyn is actually the champion that's picked up, so same thing applies. Caitlyn, a lane bully AD champion, known for her long range poke, as well as the traps that zone out an area, stepping on one, giving her those free headshots that do critical strike damage. Very scary potential damage that could come from her if she's allowed to get the lead that she's very good at taking. And Malzahar picked up again for Team 3 Fifths Brown. A very safe mid lane champion, able to wave clear the best of them and stay safe and stay back. That ultimate providing a lot of pick potential on top of the CC they've already chosen. Ziggs is also the first ban, so not
It's just
allowing that siege
business.
potential to come out like we saw in the last game. Sivir banned from Team
No
Boosted
cure for
Animals.
fools.
AD marksman known for her
Fine.
wave
I'll just
clear
be over here,
and movement
sharpening my
ability.
feathers.
Banned away, as well as Xayah, so taking away both the Xayah and Rakan combo. Xayah doing very well for Team Boosted Animals, and Yasuo the last ban. So Janna's actually going to be the pickup for Team 3 Fifths Brown. That Ardent Sensor abuser and one of, if not the best support in the game right now, actually allowed to slip through the cracks. So a ton of disengage and CC coming out from this team between snares, suppresses, taunts, knockups, knockbacks, even slows. Team 3 Fifths Brown is a very, very scary CC siege engine here. Just need an AD to round out their team comp. Corki picked up for the first time in this tournament for Team Boosted Animals. Good AD magic hybrid mid champion that is ranged, able to wave clear and poke out with those that missile barrage on his ultimate. Stay safe with that Valkyrie. Renekton in the last pickup. Good AD bruiser up in that top lane. Very good trades and good damage potential coming out of that champion while being able to still be relatively tanky. And the last pick is going to come out as Vayne. So we saw the damage potential from Vayne in the last game that she was in. Although she didn't end up winning, is a very scary threat as well as uh, hid behind this front line that is Galio Ramus. A ton of CC, definitely a protect the vein team comp coming out from Team Thrift's Brown. One of their only, or just about their only win condition here. Keeping the vein alive is crucial so that they can win this game. And from Team Boosted Animals, again with the poke composition, we're necked in a very good split pusher, and Corky Caitlyn with their long range damage able to clear waves and pressure towers. Morgana providing that disengage with her snare, her ultimate, and the black shield, and Sejuani's CC lockdown. Looks like the similar team comp, just with different champions. We will see how this plays out. We do have that 3-minute delay, so we will get into the second game momentarily, and we will be back. And we are going to get into the second game here at the RG Arena at the Microsoft Store at Easton Town Center. Team 3/5 Brown versus Team Boosted Animals. Jumping right into it, very similar starts around the board. Very normal starts, excuse me. Blue team grouping up, looking to perhaps do an invade here, level 1. See if it's going to be pulled off. Janna being picked off here is going to die level 1. Wasn't necessarily paying the most attention, so easy first blood for Caitlyn. Caitlyn's going to back and spend some of that gold. Janna not even getting the opportunity to use her summoner spells. The Morgana binding doing a lot of work. Longsword picked up by Caitlyn, so that's going to be a huge AD benefit for her in the lane. It's going to make her even more of a lane bully than she already is. Rammus opting to go for his Wraiths instead and is spotted out by the ward from the blue side. So playing this early game map very, very well. Already 1-0 here. Starting off at a deficit. Not a good spot to be in. Botline start for Sejuani. Renekton and Galio. Galio gets hit by the full force of those Winds of War, so gonna take a little bit of a chunk, gonna be able to heal that up with the passive from Doran's Shield, but then gets hit by that Justice Punch, so already the aggression coming out from Galio. Caitlyn getting those autos off of Vayne. Caitlyn having a longer auto attack range, allowing her to get free autos like that off. Vayne's sidestepping the Morg binding. Janna Shield going down to try to stop as much damage as she can. Caitlyn Morgana hit level 2 first. Janna Shield is popped, sidesteps the binding, but damage still ends up coming out. Does dodge the Peacemaker, but forced to use a potion. Rammus backs and picks up an early pair of boots. Opts not to do his blue buff. So gets that mobility, allows him to get around the map faster. Sejuani looking for a little bit of a more aggressive jungle clear. Opposite not do her camps other than chickens and buffs, and instead goes for Scuttle for the early ward, early vision that Scuttle crab provides. CS pretty even in these lanes so far. Renekton eating forward. Auto W, auto Q, E's forward. Galio's gonna have the flash here. Flash Q from the Renekton. Second blood for this blue squad, and Renekton gonna become a major lane bully here with that early kill. Renekton, one of the hardest champions to deal with a lead. Vayne getting hit by the binding even after tumbling, trying to dodge it. Renekton TPing in, very low health. Looking to fight the Galio anyway. Galio's super low, opting to fight. The Renekton's gonna perhaps pick up the kill here, but instead forces the Galio very low under their tower. And all that from not even half health coming back from base. Excuse me, didn't even get to go back to base. Opted to flash forward instead after the Galio TP'd. Morgana throws a binding, hits Janna. One and a half gold lead already accrued by this blue team. Rammus powerballs in, gets a ton of Morgana, post flash, and the taunt still goes through. Sejuani top, looking to gank the Galio, gets the Q flash off, the stun's gonna go through from Sejuani. Ian Renekton's gonna get the kill, but is he gonna die to minions under tower? He doesn't. Galio picks up a 2v1 kill. So, good spot out of that play from Galio. Does die to the gank, picks up a kill on his own, so not completely left in the dust there. Renekton picking up an early Tiamat in boots. Gonna make his ability to wave clear against this Galio very strong, as well as giving him an extra AD ratio to allow him to trade. This Renekton is a very strong crocodile monster up there in the top lane. This Galio's gonna need jungle help if he's gonna try and kill this champion in lane. Caitlyn trading, autoing the Vayne, taking a turret shot in retaliation. Vayne down 13 CS, so definitely feeling the pressure that Caitlyn provides. Malzahar taking a bit of damage from the Corki. Does get to disengage. Renekton onto the Galio. Galio hits the QE and the Justice Punch. Renekton actually forced pretty low. Was fighting in almost a full minion wave, and that cannon minion does a ton of damage if left alone. So not the most optimal fight picked by the Renekton. Renekton forced it back, but does have his teleport available. TP's back to tower, so doesn't miss out on too much. Rammus is topside to assist the Galio if he gets too aggressive, but it's going to be spotted out by the wards and the tri-bush that Sejuani placed earlier. Vayne gets hit by the binding into the trap Q headshot, so Vayne dropped extremely low from a straight binding thrown out by Morgana. And that just shows the power of this lane. If Morgana can hit her dark binding, it's a guaranteed trap from Caitlyn, and that is an immense amount of damage. Renekton ease forward. Damage reduction comes up from Galio, so it does stop a bit of that damage, but Renekton still getting autos off. Galio ease back into the Renekton again. Renekton taken very low, but Galio forced to use the rest of his corrupting potion stacks. Corki, Phosphorus bombs the back wave, looking to match Malzahar's wave clear. Neither jungler near the top side of the map. Ram is closer than Sejuani, so we'll be able to get the gank off first if that's the option they go for. Renekton gets his Fury up, but instead chooses to wave clear and perhaps go back to base. He's gonna stick around. Nope, it's gonna go back to base. So spent some gold. Mid laner's wave clearing. Malzahar up about 7 CS. It's Caitlyn's CS lead increasing by the minute here. Now up 20 CS with a BF sword advantage compared to the Vayne's Vamp Scepter. So this Caitlyn very strong. Renekton baits the back once again, pops the Dominus. Hits him with the Q, looking for the auto and the W. Inside stepping the Dark Binding, does take a little bit of damage, looking for the third proc on Morgana. Instead turns her sights on the Caitlyn, gets the Condemn into the wall, Q's forward. Is she going to get the third proc here? Black Shield goes down and Caitlyn is forced to flash. Vayne tumbles away from the 90 caliber net and the Peacemaker, and does a ton of damage to the Caitlyn. If Vayne is able to get within Caitlyn's range, is able to outduel her, but the problem is actually getting inside the range at the beginning. So see if she's able to do that now that she's hit 6. Q's forward. Doesn't get hit by the binding, so avoids that damage. CS even in the top and the middle lane. Vayne doing what she can against Caitlyn is a notoriously bad matchup for Vayne. Vayne just trying to do what she can. Lost Chapter picked up by Malzahar as well as an Amp Tome, so definitely going that Morellonomicon route. Looking to just be able to stay in lane and wave clear with those Malefic Visions spreading. Corki going for Churny Force. Will end up building, or excuse me, buying a Sheen. Will end up going for that Churny Force. The Sheen giving him a lot of poke ability. Getting a Q into the auto with a lot of burst damage if it lands. Galio building Ninja Tabbies into an immediate cloth armor, so a ton of armor built there to survive this Renekton, Corki, Caitlyn, AAA decomp. Both junglers appear to be going the tanky route. Malzahar, Renekton, Malzahar and Rammus in the bot lane. Corki putting down the DPS though, looking to stave off this gank. But Sejuani and Rammus both going Cinder Hulk. Sejuani finishing her Bambi Simber with those 2 assists, pushing her gold over that of those Rammus. Rammus sitting on a Ruby Crystal for now. Corki and Sejuani both going towards the mid lane. Could be a potential gank opportunity. Malzahar does have his passive up. Renekton east forward. Gets the stun on Galio. Galio full charges taunt. Sejuani ult drops onto the Malzahar. Malzahar does flash away. Malzahar ults the Sejuani, but dies before the full channel duration go up, and Malzahar dying to a great gank by the Sejuani. Renekton pops a Dominus, turns on the Galio. Galio was trying to fight, but was baited into that ultimate by Renekton. Renekton able to turn that 1v1 into a kill in his favor. Rammus wrapping around behind, is spotted out by a ward. Black Shield's going to go down onto the Caitlyn. Malzahar, Ramus instead looking to taunt the Morgana, but instead his Dark Binding and Ignite is dropped from the Morgana, and Ramus dropped very low, flashes out to safety, and does get out with his life. Not before blowing his flash. Sejuani finding a pink ward. Looking to clear vision around this dragon. Could be an objective they go for now that they know Ramus is low. Instead, Sejuani chooses to roam into the jungle. He's going to steal the wolf camp. Dark Binding lands onto Vayne. Vayne gets hit by the headshot, dropped extremely low. Flash and heal popped. Janna blocks the Caitlyn off. But that combination is so hard to get around. If you don't dodge something perfectly, you are going to be locked down for 3+ seconds and take an immense amount of damage. Vayne has to play near perfectly in this lane to even stay alive, and even though she hasn't died yet, is down 30 CS to this Caitlyn. We'll be able to close that goal lead down a little bit here on this minion wave that's crashing into the tower now, but not to the point where she's caught up in gold. Removest finished by Galio, so looking to reflect some of the damage that Renekton is dealing in these 1v1s back to him. Renekton finishing an early Ravenous Hydra, so trusting the Sejuani to be the tank that they need, and instead going a more damage-oriented route, looking to win his lane as hard as possible. Cinderhawk finished by Sejuani. Ramesses is on the way. In 12 minutes into this game, Team Boosted Animals is up just around 3,000 gold. Definitely an advantage, but not unstoppable yet. Not to a point where they need a miracle to win, but definitely winning this game. Vayne going Blade of the Ruined King as opposed to the normal crit build, so has a Bridgewater Cutlass and her recurve bow. Looking to use that sustain and kite potential that it provides to keep herself alive in these fights. Phage picked up by Corki, so 2/3 of the way to that Trinity Force item. Both supports rushing that Ardent Sensor. Vayne coming forward to get a last hit in. Unbeknownst to her, dodges a Dark Binding as well. Janna and Morgana both at the same item point towards that Ardent Sensor, so looking to get that support item, give their ADs that attack speed that it provides, as well as the amplified shield damage. Sejuani warding the blue buff with a pink ward, so looking to get some vision there. Pings on or near Dragon. Malzahar roaming down, looking to potentially help this bot lane. Trinity Force completed by Corki, so major item spike picked up there. Malzahar is going through. Vayne alt Q's forward, condemns the Caitlyn away. Pops the Bridgewater Cutlass onto the Morgana. Blink Vision goes down before the Black Shield can go down. Black Shield does pick up, or stop her from getting snared by the Malzahar, but dies to the Janna auto. Vayne now getting caught up by the Renekton. Renekton W's forward, but Galio is there to stop her, gets the snare. Sejuani ult lands onto the Vayne, but not before the main king cleanses it away. Galio flashing out, trying to get away. He hits the Sejuani, and the Galio's going to go down, and that's a double kill for the Corki. So 2-for-1 trade in the favor of Team Boosted Animals. Morgana going down, but at the cost of 2 kills and the first split tower. Team Boosted Animals now sitting comfortably at a 5,000 gold lead. And that Renekton TP advantage is what won them that fight, absolutely. Renekton being able to get there first and put the pressure on the Vayne before Galio could manage to get there. The huge advantage is what's going to get them that dragon and push their advantage even farther in this game too. Malzahar finishing his Morella Namicon, so at that first item power spike, going to be able to cut the healing on champions like the Renekton, if possible. Renekton building Merc Treads as well as a no magic mantle, so looking to counter this triple magic damage comp that Team Boosted Animals has with the Galio, Rammus, and Malzahar. Magic damage going to be able to help him survive these fights with his lead. Between him and Corki, holding most of their kills. Vayne down 20 CS. Galio also down 20 S, so just about evening out that gold disparity. So neither team winning in gold or in last hitting advantage, but the turret and 5 kills definitely what's giving Team Boosted Animals its 5,000 gold lead. Both junglers finishing their Cinderhulk, but this is 4 assists on Sejuani, allowing her to pick up Cloth Armor and All Magic Mantle, as well as Mercurial Tread. So definitely ahead in terms of items in the jungle standpoint. Blade of the Rune King finished by Vayne, but Renekton turns his sights on the Galio. He's forward. No tower there to protect the Galio. Renekton free to trade autos. Renekton coming out of the jungle, flashes forward to try to catch this Renekton. Wins a forward to slow him down. Powerball is stopped. The knockup from the Galio into the Powerball taunt. Earth Tremors popped by the Renekton, and Galio looking to get a 1v1 kill. He's very close to killing this Galio. Does get the kill, and can he actually pick up the 2v1 on the Rammus, but does end up dying to the Smite heal. So Rammus picking up a kill, but not before Renekton can turn it for another 2v1. And Renekton being able to pick up these kills in these disadvantaged situations for him is making this game very hard. Red team having to allocate multiple resources just to stop him. Rift Herald not doing the damage to the first tower, so instead going to be able to do it to the second. And this is going to be a quick 2 towers, 14 boosted animals. Now up 7,000 gold, 17 minutes into this game. And Team 3 Brown finds himself up a very similar hill from last time to win this game. Vayne being their only win condition, going to have to funnel resources into Vayne to allow her to be relevant in the rest of this. Infinity Edge finished by Caitlyn. Is sitting on a dagger, so could be going a Zeal item next. That is the typical path for this crit style build that she appears to be building towards. Perhaps a Static Shiv or Rapid Fire Cannon, both adding to that burst that she provides. Ardent Sensor is finished by both supports. Morgana with her assist able to pick up a Sight Zone as well, so being able to provide that warding advantage that that item gives. Janna back, more than likely will be able to pick that item up now. She's sitting on a Ruby Crystal. But we'll see. Rammus hits the Powerball onto Caitlyn, then hits the taunt. Earth Tremors go down, and Defense Curl has been dropped. Binding hits the Rammus in the Morgana ult, into the Sejuani ult. Galio ult drops, and the Rammus dies before the Galio has any chance to do anything. Ignite drops onto the Galio, so gonna cut the healing. Caitlyn hits a 90 caliber net into the headshot, and Morgana picks up the kill. So a 2-for-0 on an engaged play by Team 3 Brown. Caitlyn lives without having to use heal or flash, and 2 more kills picked it up for Team Boosted Animals. So up 8,000 gold in this, with a 7 kill and a 4 tower lead. This one might be over quicker than we expect here in this. BF Sword completed by the Corki. More than likely we'll go Static Shiv into Infinity Edge. That is the standard build on the Corki. A percentage of Corki's auto attack damage being turned directly into magic damage means that the critical strike damage is also turned 50% into that magic damage, so allows him to deal damage even if the other team stacks armor. A good perk from Corki. Aegis comes out from Sejuani, so more than likely building into a Locket. Gonna try and protect her team from that AoE damage that Rammus and Galio provide. Thorn Mill completed by Galio, so looking to be as tanky as possible. But with no combat stats, Galio is a meat shield with nothing else to add to his team, and he still dies as fast as a normal champion to Corki and Caitlyn. He doesn't provide very much of anything to his team at this point other than the damage reduction from his ult. Caitlyn with a 1300 crit on that red buff, doing disgusting damage right now. Gonna have to be shut down if Team 3 Brown even wants a chance to win this. Vayne has closed the CS gap here, but Caitlyn has opted out of staying in lane instead to give her team potential on the map. And Baron has actually started by Team Boosted Animal. This is going to be almost immediate 20-minute Baron's. The red team pings it too little too late. That's going to be a completed Baron by the blue team. 20 minutes into the game, Team Boosted Animal now at a 10,000 gold lead 20 minutes in. Although their Galio is, excuse me. So with this Galio being 1 in 6, everybody else being 1-0, 0-1, 0-0. They're hemorrhaging gold through these towers. Team Museum is now at 6 towers to none on the side of Team Defense Routed. Hopefully this extended to 11,000. Gonna have to rely solely on this Vayne to carry this fight. It's the only boost we really have. Azahar doing okay damage, but just being lifestealed or shielded out too much by Team Museum. Zeal finished by Corky. Azahar flashes forward. Looks for the ult, but Black Shield dropped. Unable to get that. Vayne does get them Caitlyn to the wall. Caitlyn dives into the Vayne autos. Vayne tumbles towards the Morgana. Gallion goes down to the damage reduction. Morgana's forced to flash. Excuse me, Corky forced to flash over the wall, and Vayne turns their sights on Sejuani. Sejuani does flash over and is gonna get away. So a good kill picked up by Team 3 Brown onto the Vayne of any champion is gonna give her that gold she needs. The team is quickly turning their sights onto this mid tower, looking to take it with that Baron advantage before Team 3 Brown can even get back to stop this push. And that is an exposed inhib. After all of that and the kill on Caitlyn, they still are able to take down an inhibitor turret, extend that gold lead to a 12,000 gold lead. Cloud Dragon is available. It will be their second dragon of the game if they choose to do it. Looks like they opt to do Scuttle instead and use that empowered recall to go back to base and spend some gold. Corky ends up staying and finishing the dragon with Sejuani. Sitting at a 11,000 gold lead. Vayne looking to build a Phantom Dancer here, get that damage reduction on auto attacks because of that Death's Waltz. Static shift completed by Caitlyn, so she's able to get a headshot on top of that burst damage. She has the potential to two-shot this Vayne with auto attacks alone. It's a scary thought for a champion with lower range, and then the Caitlyn. Corky right on his way to build that, to finish the static shift as well. Thorn Mill's completed by Rammus and Galio. Looking to do whatever they can to stop this Caitlyn. Morgana gets hit by the binding. Rammus cues forward, hits the Morgana, Vayne off their ult. Azahar looking to get in. Morgana goes down, not before the stun kick it off though, and stun up the Rammus. Sejuani taking low, but the Rammus taking not before the Rammus dies. Azahar does send up jumping on the Caitlyn. The Caitlyn sitting on that backside, taking a lot of damage. Flash forward by the Janna, but not before the Janna could. Before the Caitlyn could kill the Janna. That's a triple kill for the Corky with a Rammus, or excuse me, a Renekton on the top side. Looks like they're gonna ping the mid tower and look to get that inhibitor. Vayne up in 10 seconds. Rammus up in 15. Looks like they're gonna hit the Nexus towers here. Are they gonna be able to hold them off? Vayne is up. She's gonna look to get as much damage as she can as possible. Caitlyn putting traps down, trying to zone them off. Everybody, 3 champions have spawned now. Rammus has charged up the Powerball, trying to kite through the minions and get to somebody. But looks like the blue team is just going to walk out of the base and the red team is going to clear the minions up. Phantom Dancer completed by Vayne. Blue team is going to back, spend gold, and with this exposed Nexus, perhaps group up and try and finish this game off in one final push. Baron will be wearing off soon, so they won't have that pressure, but with their 15,000 gold lead here 25 minutes into this game, shouldn't be too hard of a task. It's definitely their game to lose. Red Pot being purchased by Caitlyn. Black Cleaver, Spirit Visage finished by Renekton. Randuin's completed by Sejuani. Infinity Edge completed by Corky. All these champions are at their major item spikes 25 minutes into this game. Team 3 Brown is struggling to complete items. Down almost one incomplete item in every single lane. Not sure whether or not they even have the damage potential to stop this push. Team Boosted Animals grouping in the bot lane. Clearing out the vision, gonna look to take down this last inhibitor turret and let the super minions crash down mid lane and use that pressure to take what will be their last tower. Getting those Sheena-powered autos as well as Caitlyn's raw damage. Putting down traps to make sure no shenanigans happen on the engage. Gonna turn our sights on the inhibitor, and that'll be the second inhibitor going down. And with super minions already crashing in the mid lane, Team Boosted Animal is just gonna methodically kill the rest of these inhibitors and let the game win itself, so to speak. At 25 minutes into the game, it's almost impossible to stop a triple and hit, but we have an engage here. Raymond flashes forward, tries to get the top of this kill before anything can go off. This one, he all lands on the backside onto the Janet Vayne. Trying to get as much damage as she can. Tumbles forward, stealth, gets hit by the Morgana ult. Stun doesn't complete on her, but Malzahar gets done by that Corky. Crits onto the Malzahar and kills him with the passive, and that is going to be the victory. 2-0 victory for Team Boosted Animals. Congratulations on winning this week's ROG Arena at the Microsoft Store at Easton Town Center. We will be back next week for more high-octane League of Legends auction. Thanks for watching.